First, I want to check with you with Christian. He got the substitute appearance, and then he got the starting job. How much do you think you could get out of him in a cup game, whether it's 70 or 90 or perhaps more than 90?
Yeah, we clearly want to continue to be smart with his build up. Went from 28 minutes to 72 minutes, so hopefully we can build off of that in a knockout situation. I know he'll want to play every single minute, and for us to be able to advance to the semifinals, I'm happy that he's going to be able to start again and go as long as he possibly can.
And Aaron Herrera's back up to speed, I imagine, after a little break.
Yeah, he needed that. That was important for him. I think what he communicated to me was he was very appreciative at that time because he wasn't afforded the same break that everybody was, and the amount of minutes and travel that he put in and the emotional experience too. I mean, Aaron put a lot into that tournament and was one of the best players in the tournament, and now we hope he uses that experience and knockout scenarios, tomorrow night.
Last question: the goalkeeping situation. Do you go back with June in the cup play and then have Jordan ready in case of a shootout?
Absolutely. Yeah, you've just given away the goalkeeper tactical plan, but we're prepared that way. I don't. June looked great against Charlotte, and he's had some good performances beyond Charlotte this year, and Jordan's exceptional in that moment. And if we get to that and we still have a substitution available, we're absolutely going to put him in that scenario again.
Thanks, Troy.
Thank you, Steve. Next up, we have Dave.
Troy, I mean, against Atlanta and against Nashville, now you got Nashville again. You really did a wonderful job of shutting down dangerous players. Can you just talk about, we were talking about in our broadcast about Lucas Bartlett and the responsibility he's getting. It almost looked like he's playing like a sweeper role, like we used to see in the 90s. But can you just comment on that?
Yeah, I mean, I think Lucas has had two very good matches in a row. Unfortunate the penalty that we concede, but I think he absolutely looks at himself in that moment and knows he can do better. And I thought it was one of his best performances against Atlanta and against a really strong group of attacking players. And we see Nashville's attacking group again, and he'll be ready for the moment tomorrow night. And I think also Matty Peltola and Kai Rolls deserve a lot of credit as well for their performances to be able to minimize what Atlanta had on the other night.
Yeah, creating more chances that you're shutting down teams. What are some of the recipes for success in that area?
Yeah, I think that we got to the moment in which we needed to create a final action, and I think now it's about creating that final action, and that's what we've kind of shown in video and communicated to the group. Having a few more sustained attacks as well is something that we can do a better job of. But I think when the final moment comes and we can really make the opponent feel that final moment, think about the chance that we go in an attacking transition, Matty Peltola lays it to Peglo, and they end up blocking the shot. It's a big moment, so we need output there. And these guys can do it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dave. Next up, we have Donald.
Thank you. Hey, Troy, thanks for your time today, as always. Following up on Dave's question, I wanted to ask about the midfield. It seemed like against Nashville, you were able to win the midfield and kind of really battle in the trenches to get some of those opportunities. How do you continue to sustain that against Nashville the second time around?
Yeah, I think we did that against Atlanta too. Brandon and Boris and our 10s in both matches did a ton of work. Whenever the ball would go beyond them and they were able to close back, we did that in a very coordinated way, which is part of what the setup was against these two teams. And we're going to need that again tomorrow night. And so, all those guys, Peglo, Gabby, Brandon, Boris, Jackson, all these guys are going to have to be ready to go and play a pivotal role in being able to minimize Nashville's ability to attack and ability to break teams down.
Having looked at Nashville 10 days prior for tomorrow, is there anything that you saw in that match a week and a half ago that causes you to maybe change around some things that you may have intended to do?
Yeah, we'll absolutely make some changes, not only in personnel, but in some of the decisions we make tactically.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you, Donald. Lastly, we have Dennis.
Thank you. Thank you, Troy, for your time. even though, soccer is a very physical game, there's also a psychological aspect of it. How does your coaching staff manages that psychological aspect in the team facing a quarterfinal?
Yeah, I mean, I've said this multiple times throughout my tenure. I mean, we look at everything as opportunities. This is a big challenge. Nashville's in really good form. That said, the club hasn't been in a quarterfinal match since 2013 in this competition. So we take pride in being able to get into this position, and now we take a lot more pride if we're able to advance and get into the semifinal. And we'll see what tonight's results are between Philly and Red Bull. If Philly wins, then we advance and we host. If Red Bull wins, then we win and we go there. So it's something that from the very beginning I told you this is a competition we would take very seriously, and here we are.
And just to follow up, Randa Leal has been one of the major assistants for the Open Cup. Can we expect him to either start or have some more minutes this game?
Yeah, I mean I think he has 3 assists, 2 against Charleston and 1 against Charlotte, and played a critical role in us being able to advance into this situation. So, absolutely.
And lastly, how do you plan to contain players like Suraj, Mukhtar, and Andy Nahar?
Just for us to work cohesively together. I mean, we just played them 10 days ago, as we described, and there wasn't a lot in that match other than the penalty for either side. So, if we can keep things tight that way and create a few more opportunities, then I think we've got a chance.
Thank you.
We have one last one from Zoom. We can go to Stephen.
Sorry, just to follow up on this road trip. Take us through this. Are you on the road for the foreseeable future with all these games piled up?
No, we'll go straight from Nashville to LA just because that makes sense. But after LA, we'll come back, regroup on Monday and Tuesday, and then Tuesday we'll go out to Charlotte. We'll come back from that. Just because our thought process is if we can spend a little more time at home and market when it makes sense, it doesn't make sense from Nashville to LA.
Excellent. Thanks, Troy.
I just have one question, Troy. How do you prepare the team to manage momentum swings in a knockout match, especially away from home?
Yeah, I think gathering off of the experience that we already had. So Charlotte is a really good example of that. We start well, we go up 1-0, we're down 2-1, we come back, make it 2-2, it goes 3-2 Charlotte. So we've been through that a little bit. Even at 0-0 with Charleston in the opening match. I mean, that's psychologically that you have to deal with that going into extra time, and we did that very well. I think we have to have that same strength of mind no matter if we go up or go down against Nashville, because things can turn very quickly, as we've seen.